Hello and good morning, and thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. Today's topic is one that I find a little bit refreshing in some ways because it provides another kind of way to understand the current circumstances that we find ourselves in as a humanity. And I think the current dialogue is pretty much around the idea of a political or ideological understanding of the nature of societies, that we see ourselves in the context of nation states or civilizations or entities that can be understood very quickly and are also understandings that can be shifted and changed at will. And so our political landscape seems to be buffeted about constantly by forces that most of us don't really understand. Small groups of people influence us in lots of ways, and their motives are their own. And we don't really, as a society, have many ways to counter these sort of understandings. And I'm going to suggest a different way to think about it, or a way to think about it that works for me, and perhaps it might work for you. So the title of today's meditation is Beasts That Roam Our Streets, Beasts That Hunt in Our Neighborhoods. And how can we understand this? How can it be that we feel as though we are prey? We are prey to beings that are, well, they're not beings, they're creatures. And I think that's the salient point of my talk, is that there's a distinction between beings and creatures. Creatures are oriented to and are guided by their personalities. Beings are oriented to and are guided by their connection to the divine. And those two ways to understand the nature of humanity, to me, simplify the miasma of definitions that course through our society. And so, to make it more simple, or simply put, the understanding of how you can interpret a person's behavior comes from just looking at what's driving their decision-making process. What is guiding them in their path of life on this planet? Are they being driven by their personality, or are they driven by a higher calling, a connection to the divine? And I think making that distinction is really important, because what it does is it simplifies our understanding of who it is we're dealing with and the systems that are seeking to assert themselves over who we are. So with regards to the divine, it's about wisdom and beauty. Is what you're looking at beautiful? Is it wise? Do you find in it something compelling and that draws you to it in a way that is sublime and supernatural? Can you see a future in it? Can you see how we could move beyond this planet with such thinking? Or when you look at something, do you see it as a indulgence of personality? Is there blood involved? Is there sacrifice? Is there war? Some really smart people think that the forces of war, blood, and sacrifice don't really want us to leave this planet. They want us here for their own lust and enjoyment. Most of us can see our future in the stars. We want to leave. We want to expand. And that expansion is a part of the evolving of life force that expands in the cosmos, and we join in that. There is a kind of force which wants us to indulge ourselves, to stay here, to luxuriate in our personal pleasures. And so when you look at someone and you look at how they dress or what they're saying, can you discern whether they are indulging themselves? Are they looking to glorify their own personality? Are the aspects of who they are as creatures being touted? Is their creatureness being flaunted? Are they subject to lusts and desires and greed and all of the other things, their personal motives, although sometimes very cleverly concealed? Can they be understood in the context of a personality gone wrong, and a personality that's in descent, a descent from personality and creaturehood into bestiality? Are they cruel? Are they murderers? Are they pedophiles? Are they rapers? Do they want war, blood? Do they want sacrifice? Are they howling? Are their emotions completely untethered? Are they children raging? Or are they sublime in their understanding of beauty and wisdom? So it's not about politics. I'm saying very clearly, we need to stop thinking about the events of this world in political terms. The definitions are possibly confusing, and the news media makes every effort to blur all of the lines, to provide, how shall I say, a relative reality. It's all relative. It's all one, just one side of the other thing. No, it's not. It's a very clear distinction between, are you heading toward becoming a being? Are you a being, or are you a creature descending into bestiality? What is the purpose of what you're doing? What is the song that you're singing? Is it a song of indulgence and of personal acquisition? Are you seeking something from another person? Do you want to capture their soul? These are the beasts that hunt in our streets. They are looking for our children. And so what's the antidote to this? What is the way that we can really make the most progress toward helping eradicate the nature of the beast in its importance in society? Well, the way that I see it, and I think the way that is the most efficacious, is shining the light of consciousness on these individuals and their ideas. Because the light of consciousness cannot be dissuaded. It is true, it's beautiful, it is wise. And that light of awareness, that light of consciousness that we shine on it, changes the nature of what we are seeing. So it's an elemental principle of science that the fact of your looking at the experiment changes the nature of the experiment. It's an old principle, easy to understand. The observer affects the experiment. So if you can take the time to observe the creatures and their descent into bestiality, you are in fact shining the light of consciousness on them. And that is a powerful tool to show them as they are and show themselves who they are. There's a great thing here. We do not have to get out a sword and slay them. We can slay them with consciousness, with light, by showing them who they are. Why do you think they want to curtail speech? Why do they want to isolate people? Why do they want to cut down the understandings of society with regards to wisdom and beauty? They want to short circuit it. They don't want you to see it. They don't want you to tell what you see. Because they live in the shadows, they live in darkness, and the light of consciousness frightens them enormously because it shows them who they are, their disconnection from the divine. They are creatures, mortal creatures, who are descending into a bestiality which is extremely unpleasant and leads to nothing but death. So when we stand apart from them and we shine that light of consciousness on them, we are in fact emboldening ourselves. We are increasing our own lightness. We are increasing our ability to cast light, to shine light, to be light. And in that lightness of being that we have, we can then begin our mission, our calling in the divine as to what we want to become. Do we want to move off this planet? I think so. I think the chains of this planet have been around us and on us long enough, and that our consciousness, as it is an understanding of the divine, needs to expand. And we need to be part of that expansion. It's a glorious and wonderful thing. So I urge you to join me in this meditation to begin to look for and see ways where you can shine your understanding on the world around. Don't shirk from it. It is what it is, and it can be seen. You can see it in all sorts of ways. You can see it in the dress, the appearance of those around you. You can see their orientation. Are they driven by their personality? Are the careers that they choose, are the ways that they choose to live connected to the divine, or is it some sort of greed and some sort of strange addiction to personality? That's what we need to be paying attention to, and to not allow ourselves to be swayed by it. It's really important that our meditations help us stay connected. And I've given talks before on meditation, and I think it's really important to stay in that, to not get caught up in our personality, to begin to set our personality down in a way where it's not no longer important to us, to our survival. We don't need personality to be alive, to fulfill our calling to the divine, to be part of the divine expansion. It's really not necessary. We have it, and it's with us. I don't understand necessarily how we got it. But the fact of it is that recognizing what it is and where it comes from and where it will take us is an important step toward advancing in the divine hierarchy and in the expansion of the cosmos. To me, that is the most glorious mission. So I thank you for your attention. I'm glad you're here. I hope you'll keep coming back. And write to me or call me if you want to have a chat. Amen.